Hey guys, how you all doing? You found the Champ Talk, welcome back. So we're just going to jump back into the arena with some more of our Naya Adventure deck that we lifted from Crokeyz. I'm not going to go too long into the deck or anything because I did talk about it a bit in a previous video, and of course you can go follow Crokeyz and get his input and changes, given that it's his list and he's one of the big voices pushing this deck. But just briefly my own experience, because I'm not going to have a wrap up at the end of this video. My first ever game with this deck, I found it really awkward. I've been getting more and more comfortable with it. I've played like several hours with the deck now. Got a bunch of games under my belt. I'm still definitely not piloting it perfectly, and what you're going to see in this video is still some of my relatively early games with it. But yeah, look, the deck feels pretty powerful. I do still find the mana base a little awkward sometimes. I think being in a 3-color combination that doesn't have a triome is a bit challenging at the moment. Obviously the pathways are a really nice thing to have, but because you have to choose like one thing or another, like, there's still a far cry from, like a Blood Crypt or something like that. And it puts a lot of constraints, and, given that we have a lot of double green, obviously you want to prioritize green, but sometimes, you still need to make sure you have red, you need to make sure you have white. Red can be particularly important in the early game because your main interaction pre-sideboard is Bone Crusher dying, otherwise you have Shadow Skull Smashing, which requires double red, which can be hard to get to. And sometimes it's trying to find the right combination between, like, playing a Stomp and playing a creature and holding up a Chop Down or a Giant Killer, or, even a Shepherd of the Flock, or getting down Showdown. Like, it can just be a little bit awkward with the mana. The other thing that I felt, so this deck generates a lot of value, but it sometimes feels a little awkward and clunky because you got a lot of like 3 and 4 drops, and Great Henge can also just sort of sit in your hand if you don't have the right setup for it. Once you do get going, you generate a ton of value, and it can be really hard to contain and really hard to stop once you get that rolling. But I feel like, against decks with counterspells, for example, you really have to sort of find your opening, and that can be challenging because the trade-off for getting those value engines is that you don't have the early game aggression to pressure them and force them to tap out and respond to your board. And also Showdown of the Skalds, particularly chapters 2 and 3, really want you to have creatures and already have pressure on board. And I've played against other decks that use this that are more aggressive, like mono red splashing white, mono white splashing red, and Boros aggro that can take I feel better advantage of the second and third chapters on this, in that if they even have just one thing left, even if you have a lot of answers, that 2/2 can very quickly become like a 5/5 and be a very difficult threat, particularly if you need to spend other resources dealing with the other cards that Showdown of the Skalds has generated. Like they might be casting like a Lovestruck Beast or something off it, and so you need to spend your resources answering that instead of like their 2-drop or their 1-drop, but their 2 or 1-drop is growing and growing and growing. It's difficult to get those situations with this deck, so it's a trade-off between like aggression and pressure and late game value. This obviously has value in droves, and it puts up a much better fight in the late game against something like Urian decks, but there are sacrifices in the early game. But overall it seemed like a really solid deck. I got a lot of wins with it. My win rate was 100% for a long time. I think it's now down to about like 70 or something. And yeah, you're going to see a few more videos after this one of me playing the deck, at least with this version. But we've also got a few other decks coming up as well. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of my thoughts on the deck. It's definitely a good deck. I'm not trying to say that it's bad or not. Just that there are awkward things about it, and there is a trade-off in getting this much value in the late game. But anyway, let's jump into some games. I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. Interesting name from our opponent here. This hand's pretty terrible. We're going to mulligan. Way too slow, particularly on the draw. This hand is not much better, but guess I keep it. Who do I put back here? Probably the Shockland. I'd love to keep this for a Urian, but I think we just need to play it. I mean, we draw another one anyway, so... Yeah, this is not a good hand for this matchup. Doesn't apply enough pressure. Wonder what flavor of Urian they are. Okay, so... probably Esper. More and more probably Esper. This will be an Omen of the Sea. Ugh. What an underwhelming open. Oh no, they're just holding priority for nothing, by the looks of it. Please, no more lands. Yep, so it is Esper. So we'll crack this at end of turn. Yep, there's the Omen. Try to thin our deck a little. Need to draw something meaningful soon. Showdown even would be really good. Probably see a Doom here. Okay, Elspeth's Nightmare, so we're going to lose our Henge. It's unfortunate. Oh no, we're not, because we're going to Masked Vandal to get rid of this Nightmare. Perfect. And we'll grab a red here. So another 2-drop would be really nice to draw. We unfortunately do not get there. Attack in. Nice, thanks. Get rid of you. Sacrifice your dead body. Play out the Eddy. Very squishy to Extinction Event right now. But at least we got to keep our Henge. Another Nightmare, that's unfortunate. Oh, this is ridiculous. These draws have been ridiculous. Let's just move on. Opponent's just going to be so far ahead. So far ahead. So we want more Masked Vandal here. Clothis is good as well, and so is the Phoenix. Embercleave we probably don't need. Giant Killer is actually a bit less useful. As is Bone Crusher. I think we just go like this. There's just not a lot of good targets for Giant Killer, other than Urian. Same for Bone Crusher Giant, we don't get as much value out of the Stomp side. We'll take the play again. This hand is unkeepable. Hey, this is the same hand as last time. A little bit better, at least we have something to play on turn 2. It's not great, but it's something. We really need to either draw into something to enable the Henge or draw into a Showdown. Ideally both. Play out of Skalds here. Just going to play out the token because I want to hold up the Usher to safety because it seems like our opponent's holding up some removal. Yep, could just be Omen, that's fine. What I really want to protect is the Lobstruck Beast itself because that enables our henge, which is going to be very important. So hopefully we draw an untapped land next turn. Patel. Not an untapped land. I have a feeling this might be Doomscar, so again I'm just going to pass with mana up. Unfortunately, nothing in the graveyard for Skoos. We have to play this as a land. So at the very least, next turn we can short Omen of the Sun. See how they choose to block. Kill the ooze. That's fine. Next turn we can play this with protection, because we really are relying on it to do a lot of work for us. Doom Foretold, okay. That's a bit unfortunate. So I'm just going to slap this down now. We'll sacrifice it next turn. Actually, I think we'll bounce it next turn. Bounce this back to our hand, let this resolve. Discard a Great Henge, obviously lets them know we have another one, but whatever. So this actually could be a counterspell. Go to main. I don't know if I should have played that for red to get this Phoenix, but just who even knows, right? Draw a card. Wrong text. Masked Vandal's pretty nice. And we still have our Shepherd of the Flock held up to protect Lovestruck Beast. Doomscar. Sure. Showdown, it's likely they're just holding up a draw off tone. They could have main deck negate. No, they do not. So we didn't have enough lands this turn to play Beast into Great Henge. What do I want to play here? I'd love to get this Phoenix, but that has to be next turn. So I think the best thing I can do is Innkeeper, Shepherd, draw a card. Stompy Boy's okay, without being amazing. I assume they play Urian soon. Doom Foretold, sure. Okay. That's a pretty sad turn for them. Get rid of the Saga. It's already got value for us. This is 3, I need 7 for this, I have 6, 7, so I can beast into Great Henge. And I lose the Phoenix, but I still think it's worth it. So I played this as a land. I probably want the mana. Probably want that mana, and I can Masked Vandal to get rid of this Doom Foretold. Backup Henge is nice, get rid of an Eddy. Get in with Shepherd. And I think we call that a turn. Not a bad turn either. Having the backup Henge is real nice, as is having another Showdown. I assume they blink Urian here. ECD on Henge, I assume. Yep. What can they get back with it at the moment? Nothing. That's pretty good for us. Hoping they don't have the negate here, but I assume they don't. Okay, and they skip it up. Beautiful. Take them to school. How good is Clothis here? I mean, the damage every turn is pretty nice, I guess. Yeah, I think we just keep it like this. This hand is hell awkward. This might be a mistake, but I'm going to play this for green. Opponent takes a mulligan, always nice to see when we're trying to outvalue them. Tell something, sure. Let's get that green. May we? Please, opponent. May I search my library? Not drawing a land there really hurts. Get the token. missed land again. That really sucks. So has our opponent, and they're also stuck on colour. It's something in our favour. So really hoping next turn we can just slap down this Lovestruck Beast and draw a card off Eddie. Okay, they scoop it up. I mean, I was not doing any better than they were. Alright, it's hammer time. I'm pretty sure I fought this opponent before at some point. Okay, our hand is not great. I think we mulligan. We've only got 2 colors of mana. We don't have a third land. Yeah, I think this is just a little too awkward. Yeah. I guess we put back a giant killer. This will get us our white source. I was gonna just Fabled Passage first turn, but I'm just gonna try playing to the board, see how we go. Hopefully you can't hear too much of the apple I'm munching on. Looks like a stomp if ever I've seen one. Get some red going on. Play out our skews. Whoa there, Strider. Okay, so I was just going to play this tapped, but under the circumstances, I think it's worth paying for 3 life. To do this, so we're going to stomp the Woe Strider, and we're going to eat it out of the graveyard with Ooze and get in. Yep. Take the scry, get the value while they can. This also has the bonus of taking our screws out of our opponent's stomp range and also turns off Heartless Act. We obviously do this before combat to get the extra damage. And that was a tidy little turn for us. I'm actually surprised they played a Woe Strider into this board. Okay, we don't even need to use our passage yet, which is great because we're going to need another green source at some point. Double Eddie. Okay, and they scoop it up. I was going to say it's likely we play one of the Innkeepers and the other Showdown. That was going to be my turn. Okay, so we probably want the Skews and the Clothis to deal with graveyards, and the exile effect's going to be pretty nice here as well. I don't know that I need any of these so much. They're likely to have a lot of steal effects, aren't they? Kind of makes me want to trim on all of these things, but you know, we need to have creatures. I think I can take out the Vandals. Okay, so we are going to be on the draw, if that's relevant. I mean, it means Embercleave is less likely to be great, I guess. I don't actually mind having this much in the 2-drop slot, like it's really not that much, and these probably all, these both have some value. What do I trim? This is genuinely challenging. I guess one of you. One of you, because we've got the caskets, and maybe just a love struck beast. Make some of their steel, give their steel effects a few less. I've probably done a horrible job of sideboarding here, but whatever. This is the world we live in. I was going to say it's a fairly decent curve, but it's actually kind of awkward. So this, I think we need to lead on Fabled Passage and just not have a 1-drop. But otherwise, I think this is keepable. So we're going to fetch for green. We have white here if we need it. This is a pretty obvious stomp. Okay. Because of which I'm not going to play out my little... Oh, no stomp, damn. And I should have realised how quickly that passed. That was silly of me. Oh well. Let's get down on Clothis. Try and hunt for a Bone Crusher Giant. Play our Showdown here. Glass Casket's good as well. That's actually very good here. Next turn actually seems pretty promising. Timmy calls the dead, for sure. Get a bit of extra mana. Okay, no, so first thing I want to do is play the Skalds. Then Glass Casket, counter on the Skalds. Okay. And for 2 more mana, would I rather... I'm going to get white because I have a few more red options here anyway. I think the best thing to do is deal with this Woe Strider. I guess we can play this out as well. Use our mana more effectively and get another counter on our ooze. Oh, they just keep hitting lands, poor guys. I mean, it does mean any escape creature can come back almost instantly. Sure, Bloodchief's first. No dramas. Rinko! We're both going to sacrifice? Nope, both going to discard. Fine by me. So we're just going to tap this down during our opponent's next turn, I think. In which case, I don't really need the mana. Use for red mana. No attacks for now. As a fairly valueless Timorad. Tap the Rankle. Elspeth. Sure. A bit unfortunate. Also means we need to play out our Showdown this turn. Whoa, Strider. Wish I had that Ender Bleed now. So in this case, I might actually want the mana. Let's make green. Let's play our Showdown. See what we get here. Bone Crush is actually really nice, but we need to do it at the end of our opponent's turn if we're going to use it. Or do we? Yes, we do. I was thinking, we could play Skalds, but we could stomp and play Skalds, but we can't eat it. Opponent chooses to take 5. We'll play out our Skalds here. And on our opponent's end step, we'll use Bone Crusher. Doing okay so far. As I said, wish I had Ender Bleed still in the deck, but I mean, it was only ever a one-off, so nothing in my hand they can hit. No blocks. See what they want to do here. Okay. Discard the planes. And I guess sacrifice the Skalds. Ox, sure. It's a little bit unfortunate, obviously. A lot of value for them. Oof, Maya Triton. That's also a bit of a brick wall for us. That was a really good draw for them. Really good draw for them. Henge is pretty nice here as well. Play our other Showdown. Oh dear. Distribute the counters around a bit. Okay, and they skip it up. Beautiful. Obviously, Clothis can attack him fairly easily because it has indestructible. They can make me sacrifice things, but I think from there we just start going pretty well over the top.